Today is Navratri. Navratri is a festival that is celebrated here in some of the South Indian parts. And it is about Shakti. Shakti means Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is the masculine, supreme masculine power, and Shakti is the supreme feminine power. You can't do without one, It's like you need both of it to work. Probably you can say it's like the heart and head of an individual. If the individual has a good heart but a very bad head, it doesn't work out. Same way, if the individual has a good head but not a good heart, it doesn't work out, right? So that's how it is. Shiva and Shakti goes together. Both are needed for everything to work out well. So we have some festivals that helps us to understand what it is about. What is true woman power? What it means to be a woman. Woman means Shakti, and we have many names, and so this is one way of spreading awareness, and it is also a festival that helps you understand the Shakti, or the true supremacy of woman, being a woman. And more than that, it is about getting in touch with the souls. That is what makes it most important. So we have our own ways of celebrating it, and this is one way of it. There are many festivals. All these festivals, what does it mean? All festivals are here to make us, to help us take a break from the rest of the routines and to get in touch with the source. So today I worn white. In fact, I took another dress and I ironed it, but then I decided to wear white because there are 9 forms of Navratri means nine forms of goddess Durga. Okay, and each day starting from today there is a color. I don't believe in it, but I just thought, let me wear it. Let me try wearing it. It's nice, right? So today is white. So anyway, I worn white, and so I didn't want to change it. That's it. So tomorrow I don't know which color. So today's goddess is called as Shailaputri. Shailaputri means the one sitting at the peak. The peak. It means the daughter of Himalaya. Himalaya is the highest peak. So it's that's only one part of it. Actually, it is meant to make us understand the peak of everything, So today, just now, when I was reading about what it means exactly, and that's about it. So you read it if you're interested, and if you're not interested, it's okay. You can still try to understand that what it means to be a woman, really. It's about the power that God has instilled in a woman, and that is what makes us a woman, which we often forget. We don't know what it is to be a woman. So that's how it is. So that is about Navratri. I like all these traditional festivals in every religion because I respect all the religions, and Hindu religion has different festivals, and I like all the festivals because all the festivals have a lesson, because it has a story attached with it. And if you read the story and try to understand the story, it connects us to science and a lot of human philosophy and psychology, and all that is there in the stories if you read and understand it. It's not just, though it is mythology, it's not all fake. there are some lessons which if we can understand, and which if we can if we can make a part of our life, I think it makes a lot of sense, including Navratri or Diwali, for that matter, any festival. So I started my day with listening to some prayers of because I really like. I told you I like the traditional part of everything. I like candles. I like fire, and I like the lamp, the diya, and all these things. I really like to be a part of all that. It kind of helps us to, as I said, get in touch with the souls, and that is what brings peace. It keeps you peaceful because it takes you to who you are, and it helps you to be there, to be peaceful, and to truly realize who you are, rather than getting carried away with all the other stuff, all these traditional rituals that we do. It's kind of soothing. So that's about it. So I started by listening to some goddess bhajans, and I really liked it. I like Navratri. It gives me a great feeling of being a woman, and whenever I see another woman, I always look at them with that kind of attitude. In the sense, I realize that there is so much power in that woman, and does she actually know it? That kind of feeling comes to me. So Hindu teachings, actually, if you go through that, Hindu teachings always respect woman. It's about respecting a woman. And when we say respecting a woman, it doesn't mean that every woman is perfect, or that being a woman gives you the right to be worshipped, or nothing like that. But the thing is that your approach to any human being, for that matter, how do you to begin with, how do you approach a person? Is it not with a sense of dignity? Is it not with a sense of respect to that other person? Do we all not treat other person with that sense, even if that person has nothing, or whether it is just anybody for that matter? When you approach a person the first time, how do we do it? Before we have interacted even, or before we have had any kind of experience with that person, when you go to a person, how do we connect with that person? Obviously we have some sense of respect to that person, and that is about these teachings. The teachings are always, most of them, I'm not saying there are not other sides of it, there are also other negative part of it, a lot of it. It's not all positive. But the thing is that you need to respect a woman, because a woman has a lot of power, a lot of it. If you understand a woman is not just her, what she looks like. It's not just her body, and it's not the shape of her. It's a lot more than that, and that's it. And that is what all these festivals help us to understand. So you can reflect on it and try to see these attributes in the woman around you. That's about it. I applied a little of lipstick because I've got some lipstick and I've never been using them. So in the last video I felt that there was some light problem. In the last video which I made, it was about forgiveness. And in that video, when I was looking at it a while later, I realized that the lighting was just not proper. And so I thought, today is a festival, I don't want to look like that. Let me just freshen up and look a little traditional if I can. And that's the reason I applied a little of lipstick. That's it. Okay, let me just tell you what happened after going to the ortho. I told you I'll be going on Saturday, right? I did go, and he asked me to take an x-ray, and it was all clear. There was no issue with the x-ray. It was perfect. My bones are just perfect by God's grace. I was so thankful to get the result. But that's not it. But the thing is that I still had the pain in my pelvic region, and getting up was a big problem for me. So if you sit, getting up is a problem. So then he has prescribed some anti-inflammatory tablets, and for a week, and next week I have to visit him again to see what it is like. So let's see. Hopefully it's some kind of muscle injury that I had, because I basically am very crazy about kicking. I love kicking, and you know how much I like being active. And the best part is when you raise your leg to the level of your hip and you kick. It gives so much of pleasure if you do that. I am not advising that anybody try it, because the same thing what happened to me could happen to you, because the muscles are not very much used to stretching in one go. It has to be done in a very slow and smooth manner. First you have to loosen your muscles, make it more flexible, and then try doing this. Not just crash it out like how I did. So I can kick with my right leg, pretty easy it is, and it really feels good. But every time I've been using my right leg and never a kick with my left leg. So one day I thought, why can't I just try using this leg as well? Though it doesn't feel very comfortable, let me try doing it. And I tried it, it was not coming. It was just not coming, so I forced it, and I forced kicked, you can say. And not just once, many times, over and over again. So all the time it was very tight in that region, and at that time something must have happened. So that's the story behind it. There are many stories. In fact, this is one of the story which I try to tell myself. Anyway, so step by step it is going towards improvement. So sooner or later I have to get over this and make life very comfortable. More than that, more than the other factors, you need to focus on your physiotherapy part of it, in the sense make yourself comfortable doing the activities which you feel is difficult for you. If it is getting up, you need to focus more on how to raise yourself in the balanced way, and do that again and again. That's about physiotherapy. If you have a problem with your hand, if you keep it like that all the time, it's not going to improve at all. So we need to go to a doctor, whoever you want to show that, and get diagnosed, like what is the actual issue. And if there is not much issues with showing there, that means he gives you an yes that you can move it, right? And at that time you need to focus on the physiotherapy, which is like you be more active with that part, though it is very difficult. That's how we gain more flexibility and comfort with that part which is aching. That's how we carry on. We need to keep using it more in a very comforting manner, but consistently. That's very important. So that's about it. So my things are getting better, and that's the result. As of now, I'd gone, and I was so happy to know that everything is okay in the x-ray. At least you never know what next. Still, that feeling of being healthy is the greatest feeling. Ask anybody who have gone through some kind of difficulty and they got a positive report and doctor said that it's all okay with you. You know what it feels like. It feels like heaven. Because I don't know who would want to be inactive in life. I don't know. I don't know who would want to be like that. There are exceptions, but most of the people like to be independent. They like to be active in their own terms. Though it's all with God, everything is not within our hands. There are exceptions in every case. But whatever it is, we would like to be using ourselves to the most in the way it is permissible. There are limitations and challenges in some ways, but even then we like to be in the goal, so that's it. So when your doctor says this you can do, this much you can do, hold on to that and do the most of what he said you can do. That's what I believe. So I'll be back tomorrow on the second day of Navratri. I wish you all a good Navratri, the 9 days, whoever believes in it and whoever doesn't believe in it still. I'm just wishing you happy Navratri, which begins today. Understand the power of each gender. Let me put it like that, because I am not a feminist that way. In the sense, there used to be a time when I was, but now I believe that both the gender is required. That there needs to be a balance, That's why we call it Shiva and Shakti. You need both. If one doesn't work out, without one, it's too much for the one that is left. So you need both Shaktis, both powers, which we call as gender. So you have a good Navratri, and I'll be back tomorrow with something interesting, as I always say. Okay. So this entire week I'll try to go with the color that is allowed that is said in the Navratri. Like for today it is white, so I've got some white. If I have that color, I'm going to wear that color, whichever color it is. Okay, let's look a little of traditional. This is the traditional I can look to the max. You must be expecting me to wear some bangles and a bindi and some earrings and blah 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 and all this thing. It looks beautiful. I do look at women who wear all that, and I'm like, you're looking really nice. But I don't know, I hardly ever wear all that. So that's how it is. So if you like being traditional, why don't you look like that? Because I am looking at you. I like women when they look really traditional, and the photographs and videos show up, and I always say, you are looking so nice. She looks nice. It's a great feeling to look nice. So in Hindi there is a song, Sajna hai mujhe. What is that? Sajna ke liye. So the question is, if you want to look good, are you looking good for yourself, or you want to look good for somebody else? So that's the reason most women, they just ignore it. After age, they are like, who is going to look at me after all? So don't think like that. There are women looking at women. If you look good, it's nice. I like looking good. So wherever there is a thing of beauty, is a joy forever. Remember that. Okay. And another quote that goes with that is, beauty is skin deep. It's deep. It's not just your skin. It's not just what you're worn. It's not how you look, because sooner or later, as people get close to you, they get to know the real beauty of you, and that is beyond what you have worn and how you look. So that's the secret lies there. Take care. I'll be back tomorrow.